Welcome back. In the last video we looked at validations on input elements. In this video we'll have an in-depth look at the ng model and how it interacts with the form validation. First, let's have a look at all the information available on the ng model by outputting it. Now that we have that in place, let's type some data into the inputs. Looking at the output data, we can see all the data as it changes on the model. As we can see, the dirty and its inverse pristine, and invalid and its inverse valid we've already used previously. There are also a couple of other display or boolean flags, namely touched and untouched, and the errors object or error object that you can experiment around to present more detailed feedback to the user. If I change the input values and we have a look at the values, we see some interesting differences between password and email. First, the password has a value in the data object, but email doesn't, as only password is valid. This is useful to know as it means you will never have invalid data in your controller variables as long as you have set up your front-end validators correctly. Secondly, if we look at the ng model value as output from the password input, we see that there is a view value and a model value. It's important to point out here that the value of these two values, the value in the input and the data.password values, are all the same as it is valid. This is the heart of AngularJS's two-way binding. If we compare this with the invalid email ng model output, we see that only a view value that matches the input field value. So from this case we can see that view value is what is in the input field and model value is what is in the variable value. What we don't see here that happens behind the scenes is that when a value is sent to the view value by the user entering in something in the input, it gets passed through all of the functions in the passes array, and if it passes all of them, it propagates to the model value and the variable in the scope. If we change the value in the scope, then the value is passed through the formatters instead. So now we have had a look at what goes on behind the scenes in the ng model. We will be able to debug input validations when we need to add them ourselves. The next video is an optional bonus video that covers the use of an open source component called Angular Beta Placeholders that makes extensive use of the ng model functions.